he's liable to be about a 40% chance.
Yeah, you love this. You love this.
He's done exactly the right thing in my book. Absolutely no doubt about it. Obviously, we know that he's up against Jack 7, and it's easy for me sitting here in the commentary box to say put the whole lot in. He's the man that's looking at 4,000 for coming 72nd, and he's the one putting that on the line. But mathematically, that is absolutely the correct move by him, and I would expect nothing less from a young Swedish professional.
Sophia Logren has let herself get to the position where if she folds this hand, she's going to have to take the blinds.
Well, yeah, and so she's moved all in, but she has done it a couple of times, and generally speaking, it's been hand-related, and she's let herself get low in between. I'm not really surprised to see that she's waited for ace-queen. It does seem that she's not necessarily prepared to do it with no hand. Now, Dennis Waterman has found 2 jacks behind, and he's called all in quite naturally. He only had 22,000. Certainly not going to pass that hand. One of the best hands you can have in poker.
My gosh, Bonkowski.
Well, that's one of the better hands you can have in poker. Now, Tyler's got an interesting decision. He wants to think about how does he want to play this. Obviously, he's never going to ever fold. Does he want to? He probably wants to raise and make sure that the guys behind just get out of the pot. He doesn't mind playing a 3-way coup with these two. Doesn't want to let anyone else in behind. It's pretty unlikely anyone's going to come in behind. They're going to need a pretty massive hand. So he moves all in, just a standard isolation play, just to say to the other people behind him, you just go away. If you've got ace-queen, not necessarily ace-queen, he's trying to get someone with ace-king to basically fold their hand behind.
Well, Waterman and Logren are going to be in terrible trouble when these cards get turned open. And hello, but actually, this is quite lucky for Heath, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a spot where Eli Heath can fold 2 10s. It's a massive hand, but he's not in desperation shape chip-wise. He's got 52,000. Okay, the average has probably climbed up to about 75, 78,000. But, you know, it's gone all in, all in, all in. How do you like your 2 10s now, son? What is he putting them on if he wants to call here? 2 7s, 2 8s, and 2 9s? He's got to think that one of them's got a pair bigger than 2 10s. It's a pretty easy fold, really, isn't it?
Okay, then, cards open.
It is, and the good news for Waterman and Sophia Logren, is either of them can triple up. The bad news is they're in bad shape. Waterman's in worse shape.
Yeah, it's a bit unlucky for Dennis Waterman. I mean, Sophia Logren is not really supposed to have found a hand there. She's supposed to be in desperation and have to push with pretty much anything there, or start to think that way. He's found a really nice hand in 2 jacks. He would think it was a good spot. Suddenly, Tyler Bonkowski wants to put 165,000 in. He knows it's on him.
There is a small side pot, and actually it could come into play here.
Sophia's now picked up the flush draw. She's got the Queen of Hearts. She could win a big pot now if it comes to heart.
She could really do well.
She's actually gone favourite now. She can hit an ace or a heart with 2 cards to come. And
she's done it.
Made the flush.
And interestingly enough, both Waterman and Bonkowski are still in this. The deuce of the 7 of hearts would split the pot, Neil. 3 ways.
You are a sick man, Jesse May, to be thinking things like that. It did pair the board.
Okay,
They're all wishing now they had smaller pairs.
Dennis Waterman taking the long walk to because,
700.
But
2,000.
for Sophia, hello, triple up. She is well in this.
Well, it'll be interesting now to see how she responds. I kind of think if I was watching this game, I would have figured her out to be a bit too tight by now, and I'd be looking to pick on her a little bit. I want to see how she reacts now to some of these guys doing that.
Yeah, Bonkowski, he's lost about 20,000 since we've been watching.
He hasn't done a lot wrong, though, has he?
Nice big stack. The blue chips, obviously, 1,000 each. The yellow chips, those 5K in value, making their force known on the table. New sole survivor from England, Stuart Brownson. No death wish. Bronson, sorry, for Balcony Cottage.
It's hot.
And you can see Paddy Hicks sitting here. He's not the oldest man in the tournament, but He's just doubled up twice, and he's a long-time Dublin player, famous on the Irish poker scene.
Is he not the oldest man in the tournament, Jesse?
No, Mad Marty there on his
Matt
right
Marty,
is the
sorry,
oldest.
of course. I forgot about him. Didn't realise he was still in.
It almost feels old school to see sort of a young 25-year-old Scandinavian tearing over the table. You know, never going to be more than 3 inches away from his black sunglasses. You know, it's kind of, it's almost, there's almost something nostalgic about it, Neil.
There definitely is. I thought most of those young Swedish guys had gone skint by the time they were 25. I'm amazed there are any still with money.
300 total.
Here comes Bonkowski leaping into the fray, and it's been about, I'm thinking it's been about 13 or 14 hands since he's put a chip in the pot.
And I'm sure he's very aware of his image at the moment and thinking it's about time he exploited it. He's probably aware that Sophia Lovgren, one of the tighter players on the table, is in the small blind. And he might think he can just get something through.
Re-raise all in?
Matthias has moved all in. And this was what I was saying before, that Tyler didn't really want to be making these raises because he's getting a bit fed up with Matthias just keep moving all in on him.
Yeah, and it's
immediately Matthias has done it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bonkowski must be a little bit like,
hey. But there you go. Matthias has done it with a hand this time, so that's it. Oh, my word. But Sophia Lovgren, surely she can't pass this one.
It is so close to the bubble. And all of a sudden now, Lovgren in a spot where she doesn't even cover landmark anymore. She don't.
Well, if she folds this one, I think she needs a new profession.
It's scary. This is a heartbeat stuff. 4,000 euros is a lot of money. Surely, Neil, you can remember back to those times when 4,000 euros would have been.
47,000.
How broke can she be? She's got 2 jacks.
Sorry?
The most aggressive player on the table has raised, and a Swedish fella who's re-raised all in about a dozen times already has re-raised all in. You've got 2 jacks, woman. Get your money in.
This is where she's going to have to make a very courageous decision. This is, regardless of what the right play is, Neil, she is having a lot of trouble here. She's under pressure.
No. You're talking as if this is a lady that's never played poker before, that's qualified for $1 on the internet, that's terrified, who does a regular job. She's a professional poker player.
I think she's doing it. I think she's going to find it. She's going to find the call here. I think she is, Neil. Come on! It is scary, and she might imagine.
You know, in boxing sometimes they have to bring the trainer on, and he has to, take you out to stop you from any further punishment. If she folds this, the trainer's coming on.
I call.
She's called.
I call. Cool. All in.
She's made it. She's made the move.
Well, this is tough.
Good
now for,
stuff. Good stuff. I mean,
this is a tough
look at
spot
this.
now. Yeah, this is a tough spot now for Declan Connolly. He was thinking to himself, if this bird folds, I can stick the whole lot in with this ace-king suited, and this will be a good spot. It's suddenly a lot tougher spot here. If he knew he was up against these hands, he'd put his money in, but he must be fearing at least one of these people could easily have ace-king themselves.
Well, Neil, I mean, there's obviously the live element has given him a lot more information. He knows that Sophia was struggling a little bit. I don't think he puts her on jacks.
He's never going to put her on jacks, is he? No one would ever take that much time to call with jacks. He must be putting her on a hand like
ace-king.
Ace-king, or maybe 2 9s or something like that.
Pass.
He's folded. He's folded his hand, and I don't really blame him for that. That was a much tougher spot than she was in. And he's going to look, he's going to be surprised now. He's shaking his head. Yeah, Declan's saying to himself, I laid down ace-king. I can't believe it. Look at these hands.
Well, Lorenz got about 9,000 back. Landermark all in. I think clubs might be his best hope. Maybe some kind of weird straight. That's not good. That is not good for him. And Sophia is on the verge of having a massive old stack. That going out on the bubble means you're only about 2 cards away from the beer. It's just a 1-9 in the deck. Swede on Swede and compatriate